All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, going to be talking about how one band, and these guys are really old, but they're not embarrassing. Okay, everybody thinks that I'm constantly just, you know, being mean to all of these bands that are getting old and don't sound very good. But there is an exception to this rule. It happens from time to time. Um, anyway, here's Grand Revival. This is something you might want to go listen to. It's called Liberty Station. It rocks out very much like the Outlaws and Molly Hatchet. Um, it's just got that old Southern rock flavor to it. And these guys like their guitars, courtesy of our friends over at the Groove Yard Records, which is a cool record label in upstate New York. So, Grand Revival. I think you're going to like that. So, Deep Purple, they're talking about their latest tour, which it's going to be called Unleashed. Okay. And some folks in the classic rock world are implying that the equals one, that's the name of their album, is basically saying, yep, it's just equals one more time, one more tour. And that's not true, according to Ian Gillan. And Ian Gillan gets a little agitated with people fairly easily. I've watched him in interviews. And if you cross him, he's going to correct you. Um, he's just an old curmudgeon of a guy, and he can still kind of sing. Now, here's the thing: like I've said before about Deep Purple, they've adapted, and they've got this new guitarist who has really revitalized the band. We're talking about Simon McBride. If you go listen to Simon on this new album, you're going to hear what maybe Richie Blackmore would play if he were still with Deep Purple. I'm thinking that's why the band has been revitalized to some degree, because even though Steve Morse was an amazing player, he just didn't fit in. And it took like 28 years to figure that out. Just bizarre. But Simon comes in and he seems to know how to be Deep Purple. And the other way they've avoided being embarrassing is they continue to put out great music. Now, maybe people here in the States aren't listening to it, they're not playing it, certainly would never get on a radio station, which you don't want to know it's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Okay. It's embarrassing that a band like Deep Purple, and they've been doing this for decades, they come out with a great album, and people are like, yeah, okay, whatever, Deep Purple. So what? Smoke on the water, man. Let's hear it again. Smoke on the water. And it's just, I don't know, people never get bored, I guess, with the same crap over and over again. Um, so Ian Gillan talks about retiring. He says, to answer your question, as soon as you start feeling unable to deliver at that level, and of course, you adjust, you adapt, and you do the best you can. But when the energy level goes, that's time to stop, because then it gets embarrassing and nobody wants that. But so far, so good. I think that's a much better name for the upcoming tour. Although, again, he says it's called Unleashed. Ian Pace says here, we have never planned a date to stop working. And he's the only original guy in the band. But the guys are getting older, and there's going to come a point where maybe one or two of us don't want to do it anymore, or not physically possible to do it anymore. But we don't think about that. We're still having a great deal of fun. A lot of people still enjoy what we do. And so long as those two things stay in harmony, we'll continue. Don Airy, the legendary keyboardist, also had a similar thought on this. Said that, Roger said it would be ideal to carry on until no one can actually carry on anymore. So some people will say, okay, if that starts happening where guys are falling over on stage, it might just be time to, call it a career. But Deep Purple, a great new album out there called Equals One. They seem to be enthusiastic. They seem to want to keep playing this music, and they've adapted, and they're not embarrassing yet. But I will be here to tell you when they start to get embarrassing. All right, one more time on Grand Revival. This is called Liberty Station. It's not a brand new album. It came out 2 or 3 years ago. I like it. You might not like it. I've got to be in this sort of mood to listen to it because, again, this is old school Southern rock, FM radio, 1978 kind of stuff. And I don't know. Is there a market for that stuff anymore, anywhere? I'm hoping that there is, and maybe just for a few of the patrons here. All right, everyone. God bless and stay safe out there. It's 2024. It's a weird year. It's not as bad as 2020 yet, but it could get that crazy. So I'll be here to tell you about that too when it happens, because you know it's day to day. Everything is day to day, and you never know what I'm going to talk about when I do a video.